Instant death could happen if they cut on the wrong part of the brain. And the most interesting thing, he even tell my husband that you may have a different wife. We received a phone call directly from the doctor, and the doctor was like asking me like, oh, why are you still eating your breakfast? Shouldn't you be checking yourself into the A&E? The different lenses, different techniques that he have, he wasn't able to fix the issue. And that's where he realized that actually it's likely not an issue with the eyes, but it could be an issue with the brain. I started to feel a little bit more forgetful. Whatever I tell my staff to do, the next moment I'm repeating the same task to them. When I try to walk straight, sometimes without any of the ability to control it, I can veer a little bit to the left or to the right. It was so huge that it started to push the brain upwards, and it kind of obstructed the channels where the brain fluids are flowing. Part of the tumor was actually resting on top of my optic nerve. That pressure on the optic nerve actually causes that peripheral view being not clear. It's actually a slow growing type of tumor that likely has been there for the longest period of time, for example, even 10 years without my knowledge. So it really came as a shock to me. I only started feeling something in the last probably couple of weeks or a month before my surgery. Instant death could happen if they cut on the wrong part of the brain. Blindness could happen. And the most interesting thing, he even tell my husband that you may have a different wife, at the end of the surgery, because there's this part of the tumor that is actually in contact with this piece of the brain that controls personality. So if they damage it somehow, I could become a very different person. The first surgery, they will have to cut through the cranial, and then they will try to remove the bulk of the tumor. And then the second one will go through the nose, where they will try to remove those that are above the nose but below the brain. And then likely a third one to clean up as much as possible before the final step, which is radiotherapy. The first scenario is I wake up from the surgery and I see my husband's face. And the second scenario is I wake up from the surgery and I see my God's face, and both are beautiful. I finally understand what that means when when I read through the Bible, it says a peace that surpasses understanding. It's because I don't understand how I get that kind of peace. It's definitely from God and no one else. Yeah. We go in at 8, expect to come out at about 3 p.m. By the time I came out, it was already probably 7, 8 p.m. So I think it really worries my husband a lot. I think the second surgery was even more interesting. The day before, they did a COVID test. It was clear. And then on the morning itself, before they pushed me into the surgery room, they did another test. And it actually turned out positive, but they have already started the operation. Don't expect shrinkage, that's what they say. If there is shrinkage, to them it is great news, but that is really not the objective of radiotherapy. If they can manage to maintain the size of this tumor, it is really a success. It shrinks so much that tumor that's sitting on my optic nerve that it actually falls off my optic nerve. To me, that was the greatest news, because that having that tumor that constantly sits on the optic nerve, actually, according to the doctor, that is the biggest worry that they have right now, because at some point it could lead to blindness. It was really a very, very intimate walk with the Lord. Somehow, I'm able to hear Him really clearly. Whenever I asked Him a question, I can even feel like I'm conversing with Him. Not question why, God, why do you choose me to go through this? Why must I have the brain tumor, and start to blame or complain? But to ask God, what is in it that you want me to learn from this whole process? I should share it, especially for those who are in pain as well, who are sick, or maybe they are going through other kinds of illnesses like depression. God has also sent me quite a lot of, interestingly, people who are not well. So I'm hopeful that, in future, I could also use these experiences to share with more people in need. Yeah.